Hi everybody, my name is Paul Gerard. I'm an independent student loan consultant and I'm pleased to be working as a consultant for the American Dental Education Association, ADEA. We're delighted you're joining us for this presentation on financing your dental school education. By the way, this information is designed to support and enhance any information that you would have already received from the professionals in your financial aid office as part of your orientation for dental school. Now, as you're going through this presentation, we'd like to remind you of four very key messages. That first of all, yes, dental education is expensive, but we think you'll find that it's an affordable and worthwhile investment. And also, there are many options for financing your dental school education. Hopefully, you're already familiar with some of those. We're going to be going into some in more detail in this presentation. Also, that smart budgeting and responsible borrowing are going to help you minimize any long-term impact and specifically any long-term adverse impact on your borrowing and on your career. And finally, that while you're ultimately responsible for how to pull this off, you have a lot of help, and that's why ADEA is sponsoring this presentation today. Now, as we go through some of the details, some things for you to consider. You will hear me talk time and time again about leaning on the financial aid office for help for a whole host of reasons. That's where you apply. They can help you with deadlines for scholarships, etc. So constant reminders to lean on the folks in the financial aid office. They're there to help you. Also, learn from your colleagues. I've had the great pleasure of working with health sciences students for over 30 years. Most of the folks that I work with are folks who have already borrowed for their health sciences degree, including dental, and are coming to me for help with their repayment strategies, how they pay their loans back. But as I tell everybody when I do these presentations, I've actually never had a student loan before, so I can't say this is what happened to me in my particular situation. What I'd encourage you to do is to lean on the second, third, fourth-year dental students that you're going to run into, not so much, with all due respect, for the particulars of how the financial aid programs work. You've got the aid office to help you with that. But talk to your second, third, and fourth-year dental school colleagues about what they did about their budget. How did they control their costs? What are they thinking about in terms of their career, and how is their debt playing a part in that? So learn from your colleagues. Talk to these guys because they're the ones who've been where you are going. We think that one of the things you'll run into in terms of a challenge is not just how much you may have to borrow, but the complexity of all the different repayment options. So keep in mind over your 4 years of dental school, keep an eye out for the different repayment options. And one of the things you'll be doing is figuring out how to pick a repayment strategy to meet your particular career, whether you go straight into practice, you do a residency, or perhaps you do a postdoc program. You may find that there is a continued shift of funding responsibility to you and away from the federal government. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the lack of a subsidy on Stafford loans. So there's a shift in responsibility to you guys and away from the federal government. Certainly one of the things that ADEA hopes, and certainly your school does as well, is that the debt that you take on while you're in dental school does not adversely impact your career choices as a dental school graduate. That's very important, and the better you understand how your student loans work, you should be able to reduce the influence that your debt has on your career. And finally, student loans are only one piece of your financial picture. A number of you may at some point, whether you're borrowing money to help start your practice or deciding whether to do a residency or a postdoc program, at some point you may be speaking with a financial advisor such as a CPA or perhaps a certified financial planner. They will ask you about your student loans, and it's going to be very important that you understand how they work when you have that conversation with that financial advisor. So guys, student loans is only one piece of your financial picture, although it's a very important one. Now, we're going to break this presentation up into 5 different sections. We're going to look at some comments on the cost of attendance and the financing cost associated with dental school. We're then going to look at your student loan portfolio, what you're actually borrowing, and what kind of loans you may have when you graduate. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about recent changes and some items to keep on your radar screen as you go through dental school that could impact your borrowing and your repayment behavior. We're also going to briefly talk about the relationship between student loans and credit. And then we'll wind this up with a list of some resources that may help you that you may have already seen at orientation and perhaps as part of your entrance interview at your dental school, and also some action items, some to-do items for you as you go through dental school. So thank you again for joining us, and now we're going to get started.